beloveds. I have a foster this morning. He's been chasing me around the house. Not sure what's going on here. So, gonna have to see if I can read around him. He's standing on me, purring, and occasionally I'll make a little comment. But, all right, you gonna lay down? I love this cat. But he's also a huge pain in my butt. As are all cats, right? He jumped up on the desk and my partner said, why are you going the hard way? And I said, because cat. Why do cats do anything? So, all right. So we are on, I have forgotten, chapter 8, The Power of Thought. We are on page 143, and we are starting with the section, Choosing Thought. We cannot live a choiceless life. Every day, every moment, every second, there is a choice. If it were not so, we would not be individuals. We have the right to choose what we wish to experience. We have the right to choose the kind of companions with whom we wish to associate, to say in which city and what type of house we would like to live. We are individuals, and the only way we can be individuals is to be spontaneous. There is no such thing as mechanistic individuality. It must have the essential elements of spontaneity. There is no spontaneity and no individuality without prerogative. There can be no choice unless there is something from which to choose. Otherwise, the ability to choose would merely be fantasy. Therefore, there must be not only the possibility of choice, but the liability of experiencing that which is choosing, which is chosen. We have the right to choose what we shall induce in mind, the way in which our thoughts are to become manifest. We cannot always see, or should we be disturbed that we do not see the way, because the effect is potential in cause. I am Alpha and Omega, and all that comes between cause and effect. Cause and effect are really one. And if we have a given cause set in motion, the effect will have to equal the cause. One is the inside and the other is the outside of the same thing. A certain specific intelligent idea in mind will produce a certain specific concrete manifestation equal to itself. There is one infinite principle, one infinite thought stuff, one infinite creative power, but countless numbers of forms which change as specific ideas behind them change. It's one of the things that we say about science of mind is what we want is everybody to know that they're a choice. I mean, sometimes the only choice you have is how you get to feel about a situation. But then once you know how you feel about a situation, then you can take steps to change the situation. Oh, and I just lost my place. No, I didn't. Okay, there we are. Thoughts are things. Health and sickness are largely externalizations of our dominant mental and spiritual states. An emotional shock or a mind filled with thoughts of fear have been known to cause the momentary stoppage or acceleration of the heart. Physicians now testify that under emotional stress, particularly anger, the blood leaves a chemical deposit around the joints in the body. Worry, fear, anger, jealousy, and other emotional conditions are mental in their nature, and as such are being recognized as the hidden cause of the large part of all the physical suffering to which the flesh is heir. A normal, healthy mind reflects itself in a healthy body, and conversely, abnormal mental state expresses its corresponding condition in some physical condition. Thoughts are things. Modern psychology affirms that all the thoughts and emotions we have experienced since we came into conscious existence are still present in mind. Where ceaselessly active, they manifest themselves as subjective tendencies that mold the body in health or sickness and determine as well our reaction to all life and experience. That's one of those things where Jesse says that you never meet a person like completely fresh. That person always reminds you of somebody else. And what you have to do is remember that and not take out on the new person the sins of the person that they remind you of, because they may have nothing to do with that. But, that's also one of the ways that we can pretty quickly go, I don't really want you in my sphere of influence. So, that's what he's talking about here. It's like the body and the mind never forget. All right, back to the reading. We do not maintain that this or that specific disease is always the result of thinking about such a condition, but we do assert that a prolonged discordant mental state is certain to eventuate in some form of physical ailment. People have died of great grief, of broken hearts, of outbursts of temper, of deep and continued resentment, of excessive worry, and many other mental states in which there are no specific thoughts of sickness at all. The point to remember is that all mind activity inevitably tends to create a physical correspondence, so that an unhealthful and morbid mental state projects itself into the physical body. Thoughts are things. They have the power to objectify themselves. Thought lays hold of a causation, and forms real substance. The word of a person is the law of their life. Under the one great law of all life, thoughts of sickness can make a person sick. Thoughts of health and perfection can heal them. Thought is the conscious activity of the one thinking and works as they direct through law, and this law may be consciously set in motion. This law will work for them to the fullest extent of their belief in it and understanding of it. A realization of the presence of God is the most powerful healing agency known to the mind of humanity. All right. And this is borne out. There's lots of research behind this about how the mind affects the body. I'm reading a doctor's book now about autoimmunes, and one of the things he says is that, and he advocates acupuncture. I was like, the one with the needles. Acupuncture for childhood traumas, because he believes that there's enough research showing that childhood traumas have an impact on autoimmunes. Yeah. So, Ernest isn't just spitting in the wind here. All right, next section. One with God. Until we awake to the fact that we are one with nature, with God, one in nature with God, we shall not find the way of life. Until we realize that our own word has the power of life, we will not see clearly. The Bible points out that a person has the same power in their own life and in their own world that it claims for God. The Word was with God, and the Word was God is an often repeated but little understood statement. The promise to people is equally positive. The Word is nigh thee, even in thine own mouth, that thou shouldest know it and do it. If any word has power, it follows that all words have power. It means that every word which we hear, speak, or think has some power. The amount of power, that's the question. And this is one of those situations where Ernest is clearly quoting the Bible, but not telling us where he's quoting from. There is a book that you can buy, though, that will go in and tell you all of the Bible quotes that he used. Can't remember the name of the book, but it's a great big book. So if you're interested, shoot us you can comment on this or email us, because I give you the email at the end, and we'll tell you what the book is. Okay, next section. The power within. Through spiritual discernment, we see that we have within us a power which is greater than anything we shall ever contact. A power that can overcome every obstacle in our experience and set us safe, satisfied, and at peace, healed, and prosperous in a new light and in a new life. If God be for us, who can be against us? Again, Bible quote. God's creative power of mind is right here. We have as much of this power to use as we believe in and embody. The storehouse of nature is filled with infinite good, awaiting the touch of our awakened thought to spring forth into manifestation in our lives. But the awakening must be within our thought. The word that we speak is the law of our lives, and nothing hinders its operation but ourselves. We may use this creative word for whatever purpose we desire, and this word becomes the law unto the thing for which it was spoken. We are given the power to sit in the midst of our lives and direct their activities. Strife and struggle are unnecessary. We only need to know, but we must know constructively. Just so far as we depend upon any condition, past, present, or future, we are creating chaos, because we are then dealing with conditions or effects and not with causes. Could we but comprehend the fact that there is a power that makes things directly out of itself by simply becoming the thing it makes, could we but grasp this greatest truth about life and realize that we are dealing with a principle, scientifically correct, eternally present, we could accomplish whatever it is possible for us to conceive. Life externalizes at the level of our thought, which is another way of saying it's done unto us as we believe. That was my comment, by the way. All right. Next section, we set our own limitations. Yeah, we do. Do we desire to live in a world peopled with friends who love us, surrounded by things beautiful and pleasing? There is but one way, and this way is as certain as that the sun shines. Daily, we must control all thought that denies the real, affirm the divine presence within us. Emphasis earnest. It's all in caps. Then, as the mist disappears before the sun, so shall adversity melt before the shining radiance of our exalted thought. The prodigal son remained a prodigal as long as he chose to do so. When he chose to, he returned to his father's house and was greeted with outstretched hands. So shall our experience be when we return to the world which is perfect. There will be something that will turn to us. We shall behold a new heaven and a new earth, not in some far-off place, but here and now. Act as though I am and I will be. The Spirit of truth will lead us into all good. This is the high road to the fulfillment of our lives. There is, then, no limitation outside our own ignorance. And since we can all conceive of a greater good than we have so far experienced, we all have the ability to transcend previous experiences and rise triumphant above them. But we shall never triumph over them while we persist in going through the old mental reactions. Because immediately what popped into my head when I was reading that, because that last sentence is in italics, is, well, we have worthiness issues. Because we've been told we are not worthy. And we've been told it often enough. And not even necessarily in that word. I mean, try being a woman and you watch the news and the standard of beauty is not what you look like, then you're told you're not worthy. So then, well, I can conceive of all of this good, but everything around me is telling me I'm not worthy. Well, I don't have to believe it. And if I don't believe it, if I don't believe that I'm not worthy, if I do believe that I am worthy, then I can have the good that I can conceive of. Okay? All right. Next section, understanding. I say being a woman, but it's getting really bad for men too. All right. Understanding. Before we attempt to improve our conditions, before we proceed further on the subject of healing, it is necessary that we be certain in our own minds that thought is creative, as upon this basis, our entire superstructure rests. Since spirit creates by contemplation, purely mental action, then everything in the manifest world is some effect of its thought. Our own minds are an expression of the divine mind and must be of the same essence. That we find ourselves in an undeniable condition in the face of all of this is merely proof that we have limited ourselves by our very freedom. Shall we not, then, reverse our thinking and take for our starting point the inherent nature of mental powers? We have gone far in the right direction when we have determined that creation could have originated only in intelligence, and have realized further that our own mental power must be the same in kind with the creativeness of God. Thus, we begin to sense, even though dimly, that as our minds become more like the divine mind, we shall expand into a greater livingness. Our world created by our consciousness, and our consciousness taking its color from the perception of our relation to the infinite. Emphasis earnest. We shall strive towards a perfect vision, a perfect conception. We shall expand our thought until it realizes all good, and then cut right through all that appears to be, and use this almighty power for definite purposes. We should daily feel a deeper union with life, a greater sense of that indwelling God, the God of the seen and of the unseen, within us. When we speak into this mind, we have sown a seed of thought in the absolute, and we may rest in peace. We need not make haste, for it is done unto us as we believe. To that day they shall call upon me. In that day, they that call upon me, I will answer. And that's it. We are finished with chapter 8. We will go on to chapter 9, which is titled Prayer. The drumbeat of science of mind is consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. Know who you are. Know that the mind that you use is the divine mind. You have individualized this little part of it for yourself. You are not the divine mind, but the mind that you use is part of the divine mind. Once you know that, all things are possible. And that is what science of mind teaches. So, all right. So we will move on to chapter 9 tomorrow. As of this, we will just do a couple of housekeeping things. I'm going to remind you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I encourage you to go and like and follow and comment and share and subscribe and do all of that. It helps us in the algorithm, so we appreciate that. And I don't know what else I was about to say, but I was going to remind you that if you would like to get in touch with us or want more information about us, you have two options. You can email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. And the hot links in that are are hot. If it says click here now, it'll take you right to the information you want or the person that'll help you get it. Or you can go to our website, creativelife.org. So there it is. All right. And I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a middle of the week day, we're on the downhills now, a get stuff done day, a take care of business day, a take a nap day, a rest day, a silly day, a prepare for the heat day. I'm already sweating. So, make sure you drink plenty of water day, a take care of yourself day, a call a friend day, a hug your fur baby day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or, as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are godly. All right, beloveds, explore the truth of your being. That is what he is talking about. That is what that entire, 600-page book is about. Getting to know the truth of your own being. All right? Who you are. All right, beloveds, I am going to move into the process of my day. So I'm going to remind you that Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.